All right, everybody. So I came up with a video here. There's like nobody out there with a video on YouTube for the Yamaha YXZ1000R. I've got the the SE1000, but nobody's got a video out there for the winch and the mounting a plow on the system. I have heard that you can do it. That guys have done it in the past. There's just nothing out there. I kind of want to show you guys what I'm gonna do. So far right now on this video, I'm gonna put a winch. I've got the worn winch here. As you can see, I went with the synthetic rope. Watched a lot of videos on basically it, and everybody's saying the synthetic is the way to go for my application. They say it's stronger, and I think it's gonna work out for me the best. What I had to do is I bought recently this Yamaha, and basically they had this custom bumper. Hard to see here. Apologize for my bad camera skills, but here we go. So we've got that. So what I did is I took it off. It's kind of a weird system. I found a bracket for mounting the plow. I'll put some links in it. I'm actually selling it myself. I do have a retail license, and the one that basically they're selling is from 2017. I think applies to 2019. I've got a 2016 Yamaha, so I'm kind of experimenting with it. I looked at the diagram for this mounting plate, and it looks almost exactly the same as a 2016. That mounting plate, again, is meant for 2017 to 2019. From what I can tell, there's no differences. I was told that there was no changes really with the frame or anything else from 2016 all the way up to 2019. I think the bigger changes came after that. But we'll see. We'll experiment. I think we could get it to go either way. We'll modify it. I've got a brother that's a welder, and he's pretty handy with all the stuff. So one way or another, we'll get it to go. But what I did is I took off this bumper, which is an aftermarket bumper again. It's got 4 bolts. I didn't show it. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the video on time, but it's got another 2 in the back. I feel like it's overkill, but I'm going to put everything back together the way it was. And then for me, I was lucky since I already had this bumper that has a bracket or the holes to mount the winch. I don't really have to buy a mounting bracket for the winch, so I'll be putting that in. From what I can tell in the diagram for this system, you've got a plate for mounting that's right behind this plastic. So what I'm gonna do next, it mounts here in the front. From what I can tell, the holes are there, and you've got some at the bottom that are, it's hard to see, but that are right here. You've got already holes. So what I plan on doing is, if I'm going to use that bracket, this plastic's going to have to go basically. So what I'm going to have to do is modify, probably cut a straight line across, and then from up here, I'll either just remove the whole thing, or maybe I'll just cut it, section it off from right here. That way I still have some protection here, and the bracket's going to be underneath it. I don't know if it's even worth doing that. Otherwise, I'll just cut it from here and then remove that full section. But we'll talk about that in the video, the rest of the video. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to unbolt this bottom, and that way we can have access. I'm still waiting on the plow and the mount. I think everything should come tomorrow. But all right, let's get it going. I'm going to pause it while I do this. Again, it's just these 2 screws that have to be removed. 10. Size 10, and then I've got these other 2 screws back here, but I think I'm probably just going to have to cut it. It's going to be the easiest way, that way I have access, but I'll do that. Then see you in a couple minutes. Alright, so I got an update here. Pretty quick, a couple minutes later. Apologize that I'm not videotaping it, just because I don't have a camera guy, somebody holding the camera, so it's hard for me to do by myself. So what I did is I took off the plastic plate that went there. You've got the 2 screws that were screwed basically right there. And then the panel goes all the way down, and you've got 2 screws that you have to unscrew, along with this screw, and then another 2 screws here, and then another one on the corner. You remove those and it comes down really easy. From what I can tell, with this new mounting bracket for the plow, it bolts on right here. And from here, it goes round, and you see this here. So this plate mounts up here, and there's a bracket on the inside, and then you just put the bolts. It's pretty simple. So from what I could tell, I'm going to have to cut this plastic. It's going to be pointless. I'm not going to be able to keep it on. And that plate will basically protect it. The only thing I have to figure out, whether maybe just keeping another section of that plastic and maybe cutting that much off. And that way it just kind of protects in case the mud. You know, a lot of us go off-roading in these things, so you don't want to get a ton of mud in there. But we'll figure it out. I may end up doing it. But for now, I'm just going to do the simple cut. It's pretty simple. So later I'm going to hold off on that cut. But that cut will probably go right here. My thumb. And then if you look on the inside, you see it's basically bolted on the back section from here and here. And this is where that bracket's going to go. So that section's going to be in the way. Basically from here to here. What I could see, I've got a straight perfect line on the inside where it's got that bracket that goes on the inside. So I'm just going to probably cut it from here straight through. And that'll still give me the protection for the rear. You know, keep that mud out. And obviously from what you could tell, we can see that there's mud on the inside of it. So it's not like it's doing a ton of work. But hey, any little amount that it protects, it's good enough for me. But what I'll do is I'm just going to get a disc cutter. Simple plastic. Cut it. And ready to rock and roll, man. And keep you updated. All right, man, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Got my little disc cutter here. I'm not too worried because it's plastic, so this will cut easy. Apologize again for my video skills. I know they're terrible. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Again, remember, we said we were going to use this line. I'm not going to mark anything off because guess what? It's pretty straightforward. It's right there. I'm not going to do anything special. So just be patient with me. Thank you. Gonna clean it up. All right. Well, don't do that. Looks pretty good. Looks like it'll do the job. I don't need anything perfect. Again, I'm not an expert here. I'm not a mechanic, but hey, I'm doing the best I can. All right, let's catch you in a couple seconds. All right, now let's get attached. Let's start attaching here the winch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mount it first because that's probably the simplest. Based on the instructions, I did go over them. I do like to read. I don't want to mess up here. We've got this. You can either buy the 2 rollers, which is an option. I'm not going to spend any more money. I spent enough on this high quality winch here. It comes with this bracket here, and luckily this bumper has everything. So I'm just going to attach it there with these 2 nuts. And then the second option or second thing will be to put on the winch and mount it and bolt it. And then I'll do the wiring and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Just kind of want to give you an overview of what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and pause and then come back. Thank you. Okay, so here's the progress. I got it mounted. Again, there's just 4 bolts on the actual winch, and then you've got everything's color coordinated. You got 2 wires. You got the yellow and the blue, and it's basically color coordinated. It's real simple, and it's basically it. Pretty straightforward. I think at this point I'm going to mount it back on and get it done quickly. I think on top of that I'm just going to go ahead and cut that other piece of plastic that we spoke about. Now I can just get it mounted and maybe wire it, and then tomorrow get the full setup when I get the plow and the bracket, and just get ahead. Why not? All right, I'll pause here so I can cut the rest of it, and we'll come right back. All right, everybody. Next day, I got everything mounted back. I did run the electrical, but looks like the winch is ready to rock and roll. I put the motor, or I guess it's I think it's a solenoid relay there underneath this panel here. And then I got the bracket today, and I kind of test fitted it, and it looks like this one will work. So they weren't sure if it was going to work. They said it was for 2017 to 2019. The holes seem to be lining up, so right where I had showed you guys that it's going to bolt up right here. You see those 2 holes, that's the front, and then those 2 holes right here, that's where the back end molds up. And I did cut that little plastic a little so that I could fit it in there. Figure have a little extra protection from the mud, but looks good. I'm gonna pause now and set it up. Thanks. Just as I planned, it fit perfectly. Right where. And then that other bracket where I cut it was kind of perfect, so it's pretty good. I'll take it. Now next step is to get the plow, put it together, and then pretty close to being done here. Alright, just got it done. Just have to adjust some of the adjustments here at the bottom, but put basically the plow together. Had to bolt everything together, but it's pretty simple. I mean, if you look at any other videos, you'll see that's a common thing that people do. But if you look here, you gotta get that together, and basically so that it doesn't drag. You want to give enough space. What experts have told me is you want to have a quarter worth of space here on the front. That way you don't drag it or ruin your cement or asphalt. But it's basically the video. It's what it looks like in the end. Still have to put some of the plastics on, but I ordered some lights and some other stuff that I want to throw on there. So I'm going to hold off on putting the rest of it together. But there you go. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Have a good day.